The all-new C-Class is here, bringing more performance for the 5th generation in 3 trim options. Mercedes-Benz of Clearwater has given us the 2022 Mercedes-Benz C300 sedan in the black. The 3 trims is going to start with a premium, an exclusive, and a pinnacle. The C-Class is going to be longer, but it's also going to be more aerodynamic. That optimizes space for the interior. Latest in-box touchscreen that's found in the S-Class. Digital gauge cluster. These are features found in 6-figure vehicles, but you're not going to pay that in the C300. The restyling and refreshments is going after rivals like your BMW 3 Series, your Audi A4, your Volvo S60, but which one is going to pack the performance, the latest technology, and the best styling cues for you? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to go over all the specs and details starting now. The 5th generation C-Class is here, giving a more aggressive, dynamic styling, especially when you option it with that AMG Night Package, which is what we have. We got the 3-point star inside for the grille pattern. AMG body styling with the high gloss black elements for the front splitter, the grille trim. Comparing to the last generation, a more aggressive front fascia. The rear diffuser, more aggressive rear exit. A wide track, clean and uncluttered shape. It just flows into the new designed horizontal tail lamps, the side mirrors, and window treatment with the side rockers that just flare out, and AMG spec wheels. So when you're looking at this, comparing it to the rivals, whether it's BMW, whether it's Volvo or Audi, this is definitely going to stand itself apart in the parking lot. With clearance over 5 inches, the Volvo S60 will be the widest, and the height will be about the same as the Volvo, but this is going to sit more projected than that BMW. New LED high performance daytime runnings and your headlamp assembly, and I do like how everything on the lower keeps the same color as the body. There's no matte black. These are 18-inch 5-spoke AMG with the classic black ring alloy wheels. 13 inches is the disc reading in the front, 11.8 inches is the rear. Nearly a perfect 50-50 weight distribution, 2.5 inches longer than the prior generation, about an inch longer in the wheelbase. However, it's still going to be longer than Audi and Volvo and BMW. But when you're looking at this from the Cadillac CT5, that's nearly 7 inches longer. So performance is what you're going to get with a 4-wheel independent suspension, 4-link front suspension, 5-arm link in the rear. So you're going to be able to do all of your performance without any issues. 48-volt integrator starter generator adds 20 horsepower or 148 pound-feet of torque, direct injection and multi-spark ignition that sprays up to 2,900 PSI within a millisecond speed that can rapidly multi-spray up to 5 times a single cylinder, giving a stronger and cleaner performance drive. Everything blacked out, so it keeps that sleek stealth look. The new LED horizontal tail lamps just set really classic on a Mercedes-Benz with the trunk lid spoiler, C300 badging, aggressive AMG body styling with that diffuser in dual chrome exhaust outlets. I do like that we have the side gills. It does have an aggressive exit going inside to your power tailgate. You're going to have storage underneath the floor with storage on both sides, with cargo at 12.6 cubic feet, which is more cargo than the BMW 3 Series. You could split fold the rear bench from the rear at a 40-20-40 split with a curb weight of nearly 4,000 pounds, a 360-degree reverse camera, front and rear parking sensors, turbocharged. Let's go inside this bad boy so we can hear that exhaust note. With the turbocharge behind this C300, you still have an aggressive exhaust outlet. With the AMG package, it's definitely going to make the vehicle look more aggressive, and they back the performance with a 2.0 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged with a 48-volt mild hybrid technology, producing 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to a 9G-tronic automatic transmission, achieving 25 to 35 mpgs. That's good for a 0 to 60 around 6 seconds, which is going to be faster than the Volvo S60. Quarter mile at 14.2 seconds, which will be the slowest if you're comparing it to pretty much any of the rivals. A top speed at 130 miles per hour, which makes this a little bit faster than the Genesis G70 2.0 and the Cadillac CT5. So when we are comparing it in the range of the rivals, which one's going to be better? This is going to have more horsepower and torque than the Volvo S60. It's going to have more torque than the Audi A4. So your pros and cons, it really just depends on how much push you need. 0 to 60 with that speed. Let me know in the comments what you think about the all-new 2022 Mercedes-Benz C300. As we go into the interior, go over the tech, and take this for our test run. Entering inside the Mercedes-Benz C300, you're going to receive 37.2 inches of headroom, 41.7 inches of legroom. This is an AMG Neva MB Tech leatherette. It's perforated, and I like how it comes out, so it looks like it was designed as 2 or 3 different pieces on the seat. Power adjustments, they're heated seats, and you do have the contouring for the seat, so it's similar to a massage. So I do like that we're working with S-Class components in a C-Class for a fraction of the price. The new generation just looks more fresh and clean, uncluttered compared to the old gen. And they start that with this new 11.9-inch center touch screen. This is a portrait style multimedia. It doesn't have navigation, but it does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, Bluetooth streaming capabilities. Click into your apps. We have Wi-Fi hotspot. Click into your comfort. That's for your ambient light and for your seat adjustment. Click into the settings, and here you can configure your safety features. You can go into your vehicle, your lighting, your system, and different information from the owner manual. Slide it over again, and you have your information right here, which shows your consumption, your vehicle, and your engine. Switch into reverse, we do have full trajectory. It's a 360-degree reverse camera, and you have multiple different camera positions, and you can also slide it yourself so you can see any obstruction on the road, which makes it easy for your reversing. And the way this infotainment just brushes into this aluminum look with your cup holders that are hidden. 16.9-ounce water bottle fits without any issues. You can adjust that. You can also take it completely out and make it a larger storage with your wireless charging, and the ambient lighting is going to be throughout. It's going to be a little bit more firm for your elbows. Open up inside here to your USB-C ports, and it's pretty decent sized storage. And I like how the ambient lighting goes up through the center and onto the dash with this wood inlays and the squared off round vents. Everything just flows seamlessly, giving a sporty slash luxury modern styling. And when you look at the dash, it actually goes into the door panels. You're going to have softer materials on the top with that contrast stitching, the ambient lighting around the gloss black for your memory seats, heated seats, and your seat adjustments. One touch up and down is going to have the silver around it with the ambient lighting, your Burmaster sound system, and storage, maybe 2 or 3 16.9-ounce water bottles. A leather wrap steering wheel, it's perforated on the side, soft leather on the top and bottom, multi-function with the paddle shifter. The updated 12.3 digital instrument cluster, which can go through an array of information, starting off with the understated. You can go into your sport, you can go into your classic, your assist, and you can see for everything on your services. So everything is projected where you need it to be. So when you are comparing this to the rivals, the G70 Genesis will be the best with the interior space for the front, but this is going to be better than the Volvo S60, and you're still packing all that performance in the front because of the way it's sculpted. Let's see how I look in the back. For the back seat, I'm at 37.5 inches of headroom, 36 inches of legroom, 6'3", no problems fitting back here, because when you're looking at the old C300, they've sculpted these seats differently. So even that 2.5 inches of length, plus this making a little bit thinner too, and it's more rounded, it just gives optimal space, which makes it better than the Volvo S60 and the Audi A4. As for elbows, it's going to be super soft here. You have a pin holder, just like your S-Class. Cup holders can do the same thing as an S-Class, maybe a 20 ounce without any issues. You got your round square air vents in the center, 2 trays of storage, and storage behind both of the front seats. The floor is not completely flat, which is probably going to make it a little bit tough for me to sit in the center, but when we're comparing it to the rivals, it's pretty much the same thing. Door panel gets the ambient lighting and the soft materials, contrast stitching, and I like the two-tone with the Burmester sound system, and that's an aluminum inlays. One touch up and down, ambient lighting around the grab handle, and storage, you can easily fit about 2 16.9 ounce water bottles. So the efficiency, even though this is not necessarily so wide in the interior, because of the aerodynamic structure, it still maximizes space and gives you plenty of storage capacity comparing it to the rivals. Let's see how I look in the center. Sitting into the center is going to be a little miserable. Headroom is going to be a bit of an issue, especially legroom as well. Obviously, you're blocking the center vents. You're going to be sharing significant feet, shoulder, butt space, so it's going to be a tight fit for anyone that's over 6 foot tall. I would say realistically, maybe 5'5", it might be okay, but the seat pushes you forward and it pushes you up a couple inches. So even though it's a longer vehicle, it's still hard to fit. When you're comparing it to the rivals, it's spot on. But when you're sitting 2 in the back seat, you have sufficient space, and the design team that has implemented this vehicle has made it more sport derived because you actually sit more inside than outside. So because of the way you sit, you're not going to have to worry about moving back and forth. However, if you sit up like this, you're going to be hitting your head on the headliner. Taking the 2022 Mercedes-Benz C300 out for our test run. One thing that I have already noticed with taking this vehicle out is it's still extremely low to the ground. When you're going over anything for ground clearance, it's going to be tough and you will scrape, which is something that we'll talk about more in the review. As for performance, the numbers are pretty spot on. It's the same numbers that project from the BMW 3 Series, so I do like that. Almost 300 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 at around 6 seconds. And we're going to see how it is, so here we go. Now as you get up to speed, road noise filters in a little bit. It's not necessarily too displeasing, but pushing the gas, very smooth. Dynamics, it stays planted. Braking, it does have it as well, so it's pretty decent with that. You're going to feel some vibrations through the vehicle filter in because this is a smaller engine. But as for the visibility, you can see everything. It doesn't necessarily matter how you sit the seat. You're still going to sit a little bit low to the ground. Red light, 255 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque, the 9-speed G-Tronic. We're going to see how well she performs as soon as this light turns green. One of these days it's going to turn green. Here we go. Now there is 3 things I like and 3 things that I dislike. Is anything more than that, I'd be buying this vehicle. The 3 things that I like starts off with in the front, because the way the grab handle is, you actually have the most width for the interior front space where your legs are, comparing it to the rivals. The second thing that I like is how they pay attention to detail in the air vents. You got the ambient lighting, which is super cool. The last thing that I like, you're getting S-Class stuff. What I mean by that, you're getting this infotainment, you're getting this gauge cluster, you're getting this design, even the air vents. They're giving you so much for a fraction of the price. 3 things that I dislike has to start off with the ground clearance. It's still not that good. Even with the 4th generation, it was the same thing. It's hard to really get over impurities. You're going to scrape the vehicle quite a bit. Well, before we get back to the things I dislike, I'm going to stop in the middle of the road, give her some gas. You get a little bit of the exhaust note that filters in, which is perfectly fine. you're gonna feel more of the impurities because you do sit lower. The second thing that I dislike, the vehicle has been increased by 2.5 inches length, and the back seat, I still don't necessarily have sufficient leg space. Headspace is okay. The aerodynamic structure kind of makes it not so well. And then it leads it to the third thing that I dislike is the interior specs. You're not getting leather at a $50,000 price point. When you're comparing this to the rivals, you're going to get leather, you're going to get Napa leather, or you're going to get even a more expensive leather. Mercedes-Benz is going to give you MB Tech. Turn radius at more or less a stop point is going to get about 2 and a part lane. Maneuverability in the vehicle is excellent because this is a smaller vehicle in the sense of length. Even though the width numbers project that it is a pretty wide vehicle, it's not so much. And I do like the fact that it's a seamless ride. It feels very sporty, and that's also the way the suspension and the seats are going to hold yourself. The safety features in the vehicle, it does a great job with that. It's going to alert you if somebody is too close. That way you can get adjusted and prepared using your brakes. Comparing it to the BMW 3 Series, I would say this is pretty much spot on. It's gonna feel a lot more space though in the 3 Series for the front, except for the width, like I was saying about the 3 things I like and dislike. As for the back seat, it's basically spot on to the rivals. The A4 is gonna be a pretty tight fit. This is going to outclass it with that. In storage, you're pretty much spot on with the rivals as well. So if you're looking for a vehicle that pretty much ticks all the boxes and it still has the sports capability, this is definitely something to entertain. And I do like that we have the ambient lighting that's pretty much all over the vehicle. Mercedes-Benz just kind of goes above and beyond with the class with the ambient lighting. I like to thank Mercedes-Benz of Clearwater for giving us this 2022 Mercedes-Benz C-Class for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, click the next video, the subscribe button. Check out the details, merchandise, website, and everything we do here at Hawkeye Rides.